review. Well, I've been thinking about this probably too much today, but we're gonna do a review on Plymouth Gin, okay? And we're gonna go through how Plymouth became Plymouth, what they're known for, what they have done for the world of gin, and what they continue to do to the world of gin. Also, we are going to go over Navy strength gins because a few people, I think, are a little confused at what that means or how it's, put into the gin world itself. It's really not that big a deal, so we're gonna get into that into the second part. We're gonna kind of blow through this fast and efficient, but it's important to go over a lot of the history of this gin right here, the original and Navy. All right, so like always, I've done a little homework. I have a little presentation here, and we're gonna go over this right now. Okay, so Plymouth, this guy, not this guy, no, this guy, the original, not the Navy. We're not there yet. You got me? We're with me? Okay, good. So there's 7 known botanicals in Plymouth, okay? Angelica, cardamom, coriander, juniper, lemon, orange, and orris root. So right away, you can tell there's going to be a citrus theme to this. There's 2 citrus botanicals added. Orris root, cardamom, coriander, and angelica are very earthy botanicals. So it's going to be earthy and citrusy. So it's a good thing. If you like citrus, you like the earthiness, the umami like we talk about, then you're going to love Plymouth Gin. Okay. So the modern brand ties together several strands of English history. The Plymouth Gin Distillery was once a monastery. Believe that or not, right? Which is pretty cool because on the back of the bottle here, actually it's meant to be seen like this. Where are we at? Here. There we go. See the monk? The little monk. On every bottle, the monk stands out. Oh, Ange is here. She's making an appearance, I think. Hello. Yeah, good girl. All right, so let's get back. So the distillery originally was a monastery, right? And after that, even a prison, which is kind of crazy to think about. But, then again, lots of things happen in lots of places, right? Anyway, the distillery proximity to the Royal William Victorling Yard in Plymouth made it an ideal location for supplying naval officers with gin. Okay, so here we go. We're getting into that part right now. If you drank gin while in the British Royal Navy, it was probably Plymouth. The brand dates back to at least the early 19th century. Amazing. And perhaps even further. It's one of the oldest gin brands still being produced today, though it's had a somewhat discontinuous history, meaning its accent in the gin world is a surprising recent phenomenon, which is crazy, right? I mean, like, back in the day, if you were in the Royal Navy, you drank this. On board, on deck, you always had gin. Gin was always brought on a ship. Crazy. I mean, and then it went in and out of style, but it came back. I mean, that's insane to me. The date on the bottle, I should know this. I've done 5 hours of research for this. We're going to 1620, the year that the Mayflower set off to America, and that's where the name comes from. All right, so I've had this gin many, many, many times. As you can see, I've opened this one up. I always have this one on hand. It is by far my absolute favorite gin, where I know what I'm getting into before I get into it. The price is a little, it's up there. This bottle here costs about $35, $38 retail, and this one here can be about $10 more. The Navy strength is hard to find, especially here in Middle Tennessee. I actually have driven to Franklin, I don't know what that was, Franklin, Kentucky, which, not Franklin, Tennessee, which is probably like 20 minutes down the road, but Kentucky, looking for this Navy strength because I heard a rumor that there might be some in this liquor store that's next to a casino up there. I made the hour and 45-minute one-way drive and found out that there was no liquor store. So, that's a whole nother tangent I'm going to go on. We're not going to even get started with. So, alright, so, unfortunately, Plymouth does not have a cork. I mean, that's the one drawback, I guess, in my world, but still, it's so amazing. What we're going to do here is... Oh, God, I love this gin. Alright, so right away, I am getting a nose of earthy Angelica juniper. That's right away, just the first hit to the nostril here. There's juniper there too. I mean, the juniper's definitely there. Cardamom, coriander, the earthy tones coming back out. Others have written before that Plymouth Gin's credibility as a style unto itself stems from the unusual earthy nose. But to me, it more suggests that Angelica is almost as much the key component of the botanical blend as is juniper, which is, I mean, pretty big in the gin world. Alright, so let's put that back on for a minute. The palette of Plymouth Gin shines through every time. It's earthy, it's piney. How many times am I going to say earthy? I mean, it's earthy. You got to try this gin. It brings together the Angelica, the cardamom, the lemon zest, then the orange, and then the juniper, but maybe not in all that order. But that's usually what I get from just the smell alone. I also get traces of botanicals that are not even used in the gin. Nutmeg, I definitely can smell, taste. You know how that barrier's kind of... Yeah. So... we're going to keep going here. Let me see what else I got here. Alright, so this gin definitely, it stands out on its own merit. I've sampled every cocktail known to man. Well, maybe not every cocktail known to man, but the standards for gin, alright? I have done the martini, the 2-in-1, the fantastic dirty martini, which I love. The gimlet, which uses Rose's lime juice, which originally Rose's lime juice was used. Look that one up. It's crazy history on that. I'm not a huge gimlet fan, but I've had it. The Aviation, the Gin Fizz, the Negroni, obviously, all of them. This gin is versatile. I mean, you could put it in anything, on any of those cocktails, and it's like bam, 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 bam. It's awesome. All right, let me go down here. So, all right, we're going to go to, now we're going to get into this, into the Navy strength. Well, let's see here. I kind of mixed something up, so I'm going to try to get this over and done, because I'm so thirsty. What a day, I'm telling you. Horrible. Cuts, bruises, anything, truck overheats, everything that could happen to you happened today. So I am really thirsty here. All right, anyway. The gimlet was invented by a doctor in the Royal Navy to ward off scurvy. Remember scurvy in history class? They didn't have vitamin C and got scurvy, so that's what we call a lot of British people limeys. In and out, right? It's a simple drink. Gin to fortify the Rose's lime cordial to genius and delicious to boot. But, you know, that's not really my words there. That's kind of more people that love the gimlet. I'm not a gimlet fan. Again, I'd rather have a gin tonic or the Aviation if I really want to get, like, playful with the different liqueurs, and I just love gin. Anyway, we're going to keep going here. It only seemed logical for those prone to the ravages of malaria to mix their quinine. The basis of, but not surprisingly, there were nefarious activities aboard these vessels that they brought the gin on. And they also kept the gin next to the gunpowder. Now, I don't understand that. But that's, you know, I'm not in the Navy or the Royal Navy or anything like that. But back in the day, they had barrels of gin and barrels of gunpowder right next to each other. If some of the gin just so happened to get into that gunpowder and they lit that gunpowder and it blew up, they knew they had the good stuff, which was Navy strength. So every crewman on board had a ration of gin every week. They got a ration. And then there were some captains and other people that would, like I said, they would water down the gin. Basically, that's what Plymouth Original is compared to the Navy strength. It's just watered down Navy strength. Now we have 47.2% right here on the original, and the Navy's at 57. 57 is an important number for Navy strength. If it's not at 57, they technically can't call it Navy strength. I have a couple examples here. Let me just move this guy. Let's not break him. Yeah, that's better. Of Navy strength, and then overproofed gin. Hayman's. Oh, this one we're definitely doing a review on this guy right here. But this is the Navy strength Royal Dock gin at 57%. Surprisingly. Then we're going to go to Sipsmith. Sipsmith, another amazing gin distillery. Many different kinds of gins, so I love that. And I love that. Look at that bottle with that goose. It's cool. Alright, anyway, this is the highest one that I have found at 57.7%. So, we're going to go back here with the Vigilant. This is a newer brand. I haven't tried this one yet. I've been recommended it by many people. It's from Magnus, so you know it's going to be good. It's at 57, obviously, right? And then we have the Odd Ducks. And the Odd Ducks are like this one here, which if I do review this one, I won't be in a good mood. Very disappointed in this, but this is standard issue gin, okay? It's at 57%. Nowhere on this bottle here does it say Navy strength. On the back, it does say it's overproof, so they did get that in. The other Odd Duck, yeah, goose, duck, get it, is this guy right here. Now, this is Forge Gin. You can tell I really enjoyed the hell out of this. But not until today did I realize it's not even at 57%. It's at 54.6. 109 proof, and they call it, where was it? Overproof dry gin. So, I mean, that's right there. That's what you're going to get for the distilleries that can't get that official Navy strength title. Gin Lane, another odd duck, which you also can see I enjoyed many a night. Is at 47%, but it's London Dry Royal Strength Gin. So nowhere does it say Navy, nowhere does it say overproof. It's a good gin though. I mean, there's a couple of good variations on this one. So anyway, let's get back to Plymouth, the main guy here. All right, so what I'd like to do tonight is sample both of the Plymouth side by side and see really how much of a difference there is. Now, like I said, I've had this gin many times, and I know from having it many times that the difference really is, like I said before, it's watered down. But I was talking to a couple of my bartender liquor store friends about their experiences with it, and you know what, I heard from 3 or 4 people that what's coming back into fashion is that they're, for the Navy strength anyway, a lot of people are adding bitters and having the original cocktail. That's originally what the cocktail was bitters and liquor. So I think we're going to try that too. Alright, so this one here is the original, and this one here is the Navy. Alright, so I should probably go from the lower alcohol to the higher. Let's see where we're at. God, I love this gin. I mean, yes. Yes. Okay, right away. Citrus, earthy, umami, juniper, coriander, cardamom. I mean, everything that is pronounced on the heat level is not that high. So if you do not like a real strong burn to your liquor, to gin, then the original would be the way to go. I mean, the heat is now, it's just hitting now. It's probably mid-center, slowly going down. All right, let's clear that a little bit. All right. God, I love this gin. All right, so we're going to go to the Navy strength. So, salute you. Whoever out there is drinking with me right now. Love you. Wow, I mean, the smell alone, you can tell it's going to be a strong sip here. But again, though, the Botanicals jump out the same as they do with the original. So, here we go. Salute, eh? Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, right then and there, like I said just 2-3 seconds ago, the alcohol content is right there. I mean, if you want to taste what a good, fine, strong gin really should be, you should get this Navy Strength. Now, I don't suggest drinking neat Navy Strength gin unless you have had a really like long, horrible day and you just want to get smashed. Yeah, then I would suggest just grabbing this and drinking it right out the bottle. I mean, that's probably the best way to go, which I might actually do in a minute. No, you never know. All right, so I'm going to go and try the original cocktail like I just talked about with the Navy Strength. So I always put 2-3 dashes. A dash will do ya. See, I'm already feeling the alcohol. I love this gin. It just hits you in all the right spots. Alright, so, again, cocktail, salute, eh? Oh my gosh, they were right. John, sorry, I blanked for a second. Jerry, John, they were the two people that definitely told me about this, how most people are coming back to the original cocktail, and I could see why. It's delicious. And I could see that the alcohol is hitting me really quick, and I only had, 3 sips? Rock on. This is really, really good. I think actually I'm going to put this aside and savor that in a minute. And I'm going to go for my favorite gin and tonic. So, I'm going to go, you know what, let's down this shot right here. Oh, it's so good, neat. So good. Alright, well, let me get a little bit more ice because, I just love a cold gin and tonic. And I do love my little ice trick that I have a video for. Hopefully you guys watched it and saw what's up. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Navy Strength here, GNT, because I just want to. Again, had a long, pretty horrible day. Probably not as horrible as most days when people are, out of work and all the stuff that's going on right now, which God bless you all. I mean, it's a rough time. That comes up over and over again. All right, so anyway, the Navy Strength is in the old wine glass here. And we're going to, chill that down to a good, I want to get to about 42 degrees. No, I'm joking. I want it cold. All right, so I have 2 tonics that I do really love with Plymouth, the original one. Obviously, the Fever Tree, my favorite, #1. And then I got the Q. Q, I think, goes really, really well with the original, but I'm interested to see if the Fever Tree brings up the earthiness of the GNT Navy Strength. So I'm just going to try it like this. Just a little bit of tonic with the quinine just to bring it out. We'll see where we're at. The heat still is still traveling. Awesome. my god. I mean, it's just like, it was made to go together, right? I mean, you know, when you hear things like that, like, you're the gin to my tonic, it literally means that. I mean, the quinine in this brings out the juniper more in this. It brings out that citrus bang, which also reminds me, this is the way I love a really strong gin and tonic, okay? If you really want to taste your gin when you're drinking your cocktail or your G&T, go with the Navy Strength, because it really shines. And what I like to do is, I love citrus in my gin. I don't know if you guys know that by now, but I really love citrus in my gin. And so what I usually do when I pull out, you know, the expensive stuff here, I put in a little bit of lemon, whole everything. I scraped this citrus, like I've shown in earlier reviews with my fork stir thingy. I don't know what it's called. Grapefruit, pink grapefruit, my favorite. I mean, I could eat them all day long, and I do. Okay, and then the classic lime. There isn't lime in Plymouth, which is okay, because we could definitely add it and get a little bit more kick or bang for your buck. There we go. Alright, so let's bring out this bastard right here. This beautiful bastard. Yes. There's so much going on. It's like an old familiar friend that you haven't seen in a while, and then you catch up with, and it's like, you know, you're right back to where it was, where you left off. I mean, this is absolutely my most favorite, most delicious gin and tonic. If you haven't tried gin yet, and you want to get into gin, I would start with the original Plymouth. I really would. I would say try this with tonic. Try it with tonic. See how the botanicals just kind of swirl around in the glass and melt. It melts you. I mean, that's exactly what it does. It melts. It goes down to the core of who we are, who I am, anyway. As you probably are aware, I love gin. Alright, so the bottom line on this guy right here, this beautiful little bastard, it's a standalone gin, for sure. Plymouth is a standalone gin. There's three categories of gin that you all should know, and that is Old Tom, which I also have the Hayman's. Oh my gosh, this one we got to do a review on. I love Old Tom. We'll get into that next time. We're just mostly going over this here. So anyway, the three brands. So we have the Old Tom. Then we have the London Dry. Little brokers here. Oh, I lost my hat. There's a little derby that goes on top of this, which is so cool. I was at a beautiful friend's house the other night, and I think I gave it away. Anyway, so London Dry, Old Tom, Plymouth. Plymouth Gin right there. Stand alone. If you want to, again, like if you want to just forget about your day and just get it on, that Navy Strength is the way to go. As you can see, the color of this face right here is turning almost beet red. So I really didn't even have that much to drink. So rock on, Plymouth, you rock. I don't recommend the Navy Strength for like everyday drinks, but if you're hosting and you have a nice full bar and you want to make or impress people and make, you know, a whole bunch of different cocktails with gin, this is the way to go. And it will definitely impress hopheads out there. I mean, if you're a hophead and you're not a gin head, I think it can convert you over. I really do. I have actually proven this recently. So, anyway, to everyone out there, to everyone in here, which is Ange and me, which I have no idea where she's at right now. It's not really that big, so... Kitty! She's okay. Oh yeah, and an update to Ange, because someone was asking me, how did her vet appointment go? Well, she's all better. She just was allergic to something going on. The vet actually wouldn't even see us because of the whole pandemic thing, and gave me instructions over the phone. If this happens, do this, do this. Luckily, nothing did, so she's all better, and she's eating still like a horse and sleeping 20 hours a day. All right, anyway, I took enough of your time. If you made it to the end here, again, God bless you. Salute. I love you. Comment, any questions, anything, maybe I could answer something for you. And at the end of the day, just have a gin and tonic. It'll just melt away all the stress and everything else. Salute, all right? Cheers.